I'm Austin, I'm 20 years old, I am a classic physique competitor. I go to college as well, I am a pre-med student. I got into bodybuilding because when I was a young kid in my teenage years, I was really skinny and really insecure of my body. So I started going to this gym right behind my school every day with my buddies, and eventually got into a habit of ours going to the gym every day after class. And then we met this trainer that had big arms, and I wanted big arms because that was pretty much everybody's favorite thing to do, and fill a t-shirt was to have big arms. So I talked to him, he convinced me about working out with him consistently and then getting into not classic physique, but men's physique first, because I didn't really have the kind of build to be in the classic physique category because it really wasn't a thing back then. So since then I've been posing with him off and on. He's been my trainer for the past couple years, and it kind of took off. So we did our first show when I was 17 years old as a men's physique competitor. I took first place in that, and as time went on we practiced and we discussed that we can go further into it. So we decided to take on classic physique, which was a new category at the time. So we took that on. I took first place in that as well for my second show. So currently I'm looking forward a new show to do, most specifically to get my IFBB Pro card in the next couple years. I'll be doing the Pittsburgh Pro coming up next year. So with that, he'll be my trainer as well. So I've been training for about 5-6 years now consistently. I've had my off days just like everybody, but consistently I've been doing that. I just love the way bodybuilding really fits me, because with it I can focus on so many things at a time and have bodybuilding to go to on the side and just relieve all my stress and forget everything that's going on around me and focus on what I really like doing, and which is working out every day and just getting that sweat and feeling good about myself. That's pretty much the highlight of my day and my week. So the first changes I noticed when I started working out was when I'd go to the gym, I would only train my arms, my back, and my chest, just because that really filled out the t-shirt. I didn't really care about my legs too much because I was always wearing sweatpants or shorts and stuff like that. So the first thing I noticed was my arms and my separation, my triceps and biceps, and then I started getting a little bit vascular, and I thought this can really take off. So I started training my shoulders with that following, and then I noticed as I was training shoulders, my physique more looked V-tapered. So I had that going for me, and then I started training back more consistently, seeing how my lats would react to that, making it more of a V-taper. And then as I went on, I started training a little bit more frequently, my whole body. So I started doing calves, quads, and hamstrings with the following, and ever since I've just been doing that routine. I would say my best body part was my quads. I developed those quads over 2 to 3 years. The reason why is because I looked up to Tom Platz and his training ethics. So I would go to the gym, look up some videos on how intensity his training was, and then I'd have my friends or my co-workers in the gym with me ask for a spot, and just get that consistency and that intensity in the training, as Tom Platz would do. And that's how I got the most growth out of him. My genetics really paid off on what my leg development would look like. They separated really well. Now for the weakest, I would probably say it was either my chest at the start or my arms. When I was younger, I'd always train my chest really heavy. I didn't really know what stimulation it was. As the years went on, though, I tried to train a little bit smarter, just really focus on the squeezing and techniques and stuff. And eventually, I started seeing a little bit of growth, but not too much. The worst specifically, my chest was probably my upper chest. So I started doing more incline, and eventually kind of got a little bit better, but I would still say that's kind of the weaker point in my physique so far. So one thing I would probably change in my physique is probably my abdominals, mostly just because my abs are kind of blocky. I'd like them to be a little bit more smaller and like real close together, but when I prep for conditioning and stuff during my shows, they're kind of more, really far apart, and it doesn't look like I really have that, it kind of doesn't really show my vacuum pose as great as I'd like it to be. Over the years, I was looking into sponsorships, managements. I ran into Bent Barbell. I saw their page on Instagram, and I noticed they're a little bit different than other companies. They help your athletes become something they weren't before. Help them out just as much as they help themselves out. What I noticed is over the years, a lot of companies just rely on their athletes to make them money, and show them off, show their brand off, and just toss them to the side the next very day. I noticed, from the past, I've tried to sponsor multiple companies. Multiple companies wanted so much out of you, what to expect in reality. But when I went into Bent Barbell, I noticed, they're really just trying to help you as much as you want to help them. With that, I can stand out as being, you know, one of the very smaller, you know, younger kids that can actually, you know, not kid, but, you know, 20-year-old, able to do, you know, posing decently, you know, doing the vacuum pose, doing a class of physique not many competitors can do as a teen bodybuilder, you know, showing that off as the bent barbell, that somebody, you know, from their team can actually achieve, you know, those kind of goals and work in a different, you know, lifestyle, instead of just being a teen bodybuilder doing, you know, the basic stuff. I'd like to be a little bit more, you know, outgoing and a little bit more, you know, specific on what I do and explain, you know, how I do things. So with bent barbell, you know, I noticed that, you know, they came to me and I came to them at the same time, and they realized that, you know, I had a lot more potential than, you know, what I thought I actually had. So, you know, coming into the bent barbell, I kind of want to bring what I can and what, you know, they would like me to have, but, you know, most importantly, what we can both do together to work as a team and bring the most out of it so we can help each other in the long run.